So I really want to discuss the higher time frame point of view in this video. I'll be going over the majors as usual, maybe a few altcoins, but I think it's really important to understand where prices are on the high time frame. I think a lot of us get way too focused on intraday price action. We fall for some bearish propaganda and get really distracted on the big picture. So the goal of this video is just to talk through the higher time frame point of view. Some things look good, some things look bad, but hopefully we'd figure out what's going on higher time frame. Before we get too far into the video, I want to make it absolutely clear that I do not believe that the top is in for Bitcoin and other majors. I hope this video can support my overall argument and you can see my point of view. But of course, that's just my opinion. So I'm going to lay out my evidence and share my thoughts with you. I have several levels on Bitcoin that are really jumping out at me when I look at this blank chart. So the first level that I want to highlight, it's this daily breakout point. Breakout points, breakdown points are a very core component of my overall system and my overall thought process to the market. Okay, so the thought process there is the breakout point acts as support and or resistance. So it's a level that price clearly rejects from, has a significant rejection from. If and when price comes back in contact with that level, you get some kind of consolidation, some kind of strong reaction again from that level, clearly trying to build up the volume to break through it. I feel like the breakout point on the daily here is significant because no, price did not consolidate anywhere near the breakout point. But when we did come in contact with the breakout point, we slightly wicked the level, as you can see there, before expansion to the upside. We had our move to the upside, price falls back, sells off a bit, and bounces directly at the breakout point. Again, price bounces, has a significant move from that breakout point. Again, comes back in contact with the level, wicks, bodies into the level, all of that good stuff. Falls through, we're acting as resistance and acting as resistance now. So it's a solid level. It's exactly what I want to see. It's wicks into the level, it's strong reactions from the level, bodies into the level, stuff like that. So the second level that's really jumping out at me is another breakout point on the daily. It's actually a breakdown / breakout point, as you can see here. So price grinds up to the level. We have a significant rejection from the level. Extend this to the right. We can see wicks into the level, bodies into the level, a very significant rejection from the level. Again, price is coming back in contact with the level. We wick into it, we consolidate below it, finally break out, flip it into support, chop at it for quite a while. A ton of volume happening at this level. This is a very significant level before reaching our next breakout point. So that is the second level. And then another core component of my system is consolidation periods. So I have an entire video dedicated to consolidation period setups. So the daily consolidation period here, we extend that to the right, we can see it's the consolidation period before breaking the daily breakout point. When price comes back down to interact with the level, price wicks into the level, bounces, gets rejected from our breakout point, comes back into the daily consolidation period, and now we're kind of trapped between two levels. So it really depends who you ask for levels like this. To me, it's just a clear consolidation period. Other people may call them breakers, other people may call them order blocks. It doesn't really matter. I try to sound as smart as possible, so I try to call them something different, so that's why I call them consolidation periods. Anyway, so there's just way too much support in this area for me to be bearish in any way. Like I said, we have a ton of volume that came in at this 106.1K level. It took a lot of effort to fully break the level. We chopped at the level for a long time before actually breaking out. Price has not even retested that 106.1K level. We're just back at the daily consolidation period that led to the move up. So we haven't even retested that 106.1K level, which is a good sign. Price, it has retested the daily consolidation period and has had a solid reaction from it. Now, price is just stalling and consolidating below our daily breakout point, which is perfectly normal historically with daily breakout points. It's a normal thing to do. It happens all the time with breakout points. This is not any new price action. This is not significant in any way. It would be more of a problem if maybe price was doing this price action down here and below 106.1K, right? That would be a problem if we just continue to sell off and now this price action was happening down here. But again, we are above several layers of support, so there's just no possible way I can be bearish and have any kind of bearish argument. My tune would definitely change if we lost 106.1K, but as long as we're above here, I'm perfectly comfortable. I'm happy. People are getting chopped up. This is classic Bitcoin price action. We're seeing stocks rip to all-time high. Bitcoin price action is like this. So it's very demotivating, and Bitcoin really has a way of making you feel like you shouldn't care about the asset class anymore. It's very hard to describe. I don't know really how to describe it. There's just certain times where I just remember so distinctly that this situation is happening, and then very quickly after you see Bitcoin catch up and rip as well. So I'm not saying this is going to happen, of course, just my opinion and my overall point of view on Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum on the daily chart, there is also a consolidation period that's jumping out at me and several layers that are jumping out at me. So the first level is very subtle. I think a lot of people will miss it, but it really reminds me of, I think it was the 72K level on Bitcoin. I did a market review around that time and I discussed a period that looks very, very similar to this, where it's just candles that are fighting. Each side is fighting within the day. And to me, that is a slight daily consolidation period and price like stalling before the next leg higher. So it really reminds me of price stalling before the next move. So let's highlight this level and see if there's any actual confluence to that argument, or I'm just talking out of my ass, which could be valid as well. So as you can see, it's a little bit ugly. It's not as clean as the Bitcoin levels so far, but from my point of view, this is still a daily consolidation period. Maybe if I wanted to get it a little bit tighter, I could do something like this, and to me that would also be a little bit more valid. So again, not as clean, but it's still a level that I want to be aware of, and price is clearly consolidating at this level and holding the level. So to me, that's going to be a significant level and one that I want to have highlighted. So the next level on Ethereum that's really jumping out at me on the daily chart is going to be the double top right here. So if we highlight this level, extend it to the right, we can see some really, really solid interaction with the level, right? We have a very significant bounce from the level. So in this kind of situation where to the upside, this level didn't really help me. There's no further consolidation below the period. There's no rejections. There's nothing that can help me on the daily chart based on this double top until price fully breaks from the level and we retest the level. We have two ugly daily candles where we lose the daily consolidation period. We sell off directly into the level, and then the next daily level engulfs that ugly candle. So to me, and from my point of view, that is a significant bounce from the level. And that's saying like, hey, buyers are still here. We're flipping this level. This is going to be a level of support. We extend higher, set a new local top before selling off. And we have yet to retest that level. So if and when that level is retested, of course, I'd like to see it continue to hold. The next level that's really jumping out at me on the daily chart here is going to be the daily breakout point. So somewhere around here. But also what's significant is if we extend this to the left, look at all of the price action that happened here. Right? I think that's very notable, where we are unable to break that level and have a significant rejection from that level. So it's a breakdown, breakout point. When we come back to the current or more recent price action, you could see that price is clearly rejecting the level, consolidating below the level, has a significant rejection from the level, consolidation below, before finally blasting through. So that is going to be a significant level that I want to have highlighted on my chart at 38.60. Now, is that going to help me with current price action? No, that's 10% below current price. My other daily level is 4.5%, which is not, or 5%, which is not much at all. That could happen in a single daily candle, so perfectly fine. But again, this is one of those situations where there's just too much support for me to ever be bearish and have a bearish argument on Ethereum here. I think a lot of people lose their minds in consolidation period that looks like this, because it's now been almost 2 weeks of price really not doing much. Right? We attempted to bounce from the daily consolidation, and then price has just bled out / gone sideways for the next, I don't know, 10 days or something like that. And people lose their minds and really overthink, but we are above massive support levels. So like I said, it's just not something that I could be bearish on or have any kind of bearish point of view. Of course, similar to Bitcoin, if 38.60 is lost, then, I'll change my tune and accept defeat. But Until then, I'm still bullish on Ethereum as well. So before I get into talking about Solana, check out WooFi. It's a DEX, very low fees, great liquidity. The link is at the top of the description. So I feel like I've been really screaming into the void about my bullish point of view on Solana. Just looking at a naked daily chart, you could just see structurally how much better it looks compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin or Ethereum, but I really think Solana looks significantly stronger and it's due for a very solid run. So let's talk about it a little bit more in detail. So the first level that's really jumping out at me is going to be just a classic level of mine. It's going to be the daily breakdown point / daily breakout point. If we extend this line to the left, we can see significant interactions with this level. I'm sure if I continue extending to the left, it'll be even more, but you kind of get the idea where we have the breakout point, price wicking into the level, establishing a consolidation period before moving away from the level, again breaking down from the level, wicks into the level before selling off, a significant sell-off, may I add. Again, price really looking solid into the level, grinding up on the daily, stopping directly at the level, engulfing everything, selling off, interacting with the daily, wicking, wicks, bodies, everything I possibly look for is at this first level at 206.4. So price is currently below this level, but we've been chopping it to bits. We've been consolidating at this level. So this entire consolidation period will be used as a base for the next argument if and when Solana breaks out from the consolidation period. The next significant daily level I want to talk about that's really jumping out at me is going to be a daily rejection or breakout point / weird level. Is going to be this 178.72, which doesn't really help me with current price action. Again, it's 13% lower than where price currently is, but we all know with the crypto market that can happen literally in an hourly candle. We could Darth Maul this entire area and continue going higher, but it's still a significant level and one that I want to mention because of the price action surrounding the level. Okay, again, wicks, bodies, consolidation into the level, strong bounces from the level, strong rejections, everything I look for. And then also something notable is going to be all of this consolidation period between these two levels. So all of the volume, the independent consolidation periods, this one was between 180 and 197. This one was between 189 202, and now, like I said, we are consolidating currently on the daily just above the level, but just all of the volume that happens in this area. It's very, very difficult for me to be bearish and have a bearish point of view when we have all of this volume below levels. We have very significant daily levels as well. And then kind of more within this region specifically, and in terms of recent price action, this daily consolidation period is really interesting to me. We consolidate, of course, for a few days before selling off. Of course, we wick into the level before selling off, wick into the level when we are retesting it, fully break through, retest it as support, bounce from the level here before making our move to the next daily level at 206.5 or 24, whatever I said. So again, we have a ton of support below price. And the main area of interest I have to the upside, and for me to really confirm that the daily consolidation period is breaking, is going to be a break and close above 220. So I can clean this line up a little bit more, maybe put it above this wick, which is perfectly fine as well. So it's going to be a daily close above 220 will confirm that this consolidation period has come to an end, and I could look to long some kind of pullback into that 220 level. If it just rockets up here to, like, I don't know, 240, comes down a bit, something like that, I'll look to long the retest. So something like that I'll be using to support my argument. But overall, I think structurally Solana looks much better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. Actually, I was planning on talking about altcoins, but I think the long-winded analysis on the majors took a bit more time than I anticipated, and I think maybe I'll just do an altcoin focused video during the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, comments, anything like that, please feel free to ask, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.